Turning passion into ideas and ideas into products. 17-year-old Mahalia Gordon shares her story as a budding entrepreneur. Also in today's show, platforms for sustainable economic growth. A recap of Minister Paul Well's sectoral debate presentation. Hello and welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm Carrie Ann Smith. Today's package is chock full of news and information that can add value to your life, so stay with us.
Mr. Shirley, me get the invitation from America.
You know a passport?
A passport is one of the most important forms.
Here at PICA, we believe in excellent customer service. So when we wanted our customers to know about us, we approached the JIS and they delivered and we got excellent value for money. And so we encourage you to go to the JIS, a one-stop shop for media services. They have print, radio, television, and so much more.
Good day, I'm Stacey Ann Smith, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, May 15. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller has established a committee to come up with solutions to electricity theft and related matters. The committee, which comprises government officials as well as representatives from the Jamaica Public Service JPS, will be chaired by Energy State Minister Julian Robinson. Its first meeting will be held next week. The decision to form the committee followed a meeting with the Prime Minister, JPS officials and other government members at Jamaica House on Wednesday. The Prime Minister made it clear that the government did not support the theft of electricity, but said JPS had to find a way to deal with illegal connections without punishing legitimate customers. Earlier this week, JPS reduced the number of hours that power was supplied to select communities in Kingston, St. Andrew and St. Catherine because the majority of persons in those areas were stealing electricity. JPS later ended the restrictions following a cease and desist order from the Office of Utilities Regulation. A statement from Jamaica House says the Light and Power Company regrets not having dialogue with government prior to its decision and has also apologized to its paying customers who were affected by the power cuts. July 3 is the new deadline for the submission of bids for the privatization of the Kingston Container Terminal KCT. Transport and Works Minister Dr. Omar Davies says the extension was granted as a result of a request for more time by one of the three shortlisted entities bidding for the project. The original date for the submission of bids was May 22. Dr. Davies, who was making his sectoral presentation Wednesday, said government would be meticulous in its approach to privatizing the KCT.
I want to make something abundantly clear. And I've indicated this in our meetings with the IMF. There will be no fire sale, either of the KCT or any other asset.
Ports of Singapore International, Dubai Ports and Terminal Link Consortium are the three bidders that have been pre-qualified and recommended for proceeding to the next stage of the privatization process.
We expect, Mr. Speaker, by August to September, the provisional preferred bidder should be selected, followed by contract award and signing in another 2 to 3 months.
Meanwhile, privatization of the Norman Manley International Airport, NMIA, is expected to take place by the middle of next year.
The Development Bank of Jamaica, as the Secretariat, and the IFC, International Finance Corporation, as the financial advisors, have been pursuing the privatization of the airport.
The Transport Minister says NMIA's property will continue to be owned by the government and dredging arrangements are to be part of the negotiations. He told Parliament that privatizing NMIA was expected to address significant deficiencies in the physical plant and put the airport in a position to meet the requirements of its license under the Airport Economic Regulations 2002 Act. The Ministry of Local Government and Community Development has begun to implement aspects of its Local Economic Development Support Program, LED-SP. Through the Social Development Commission's SDC's National 2020 Community Cricket Competition, communities will get the opportunity to promote small businesses in their areas.
With all the economic challenges of the country face, getting the communities to be self-sufficient by making their products and services will help to ease the burden in creating economic opportunities.
Minister R. Scott was speaking at the launch of the SDC's National 2020 Community Cricket Competition. Over 276 teams from different communities across the island have registered for the competition, which began on May 11 and will end on August 24. The theme for this year's cricket competition is Think Community, Think Business. And finally, as government continues to engage young people in agriculture, another school has started to use greenhouse technology to boost crop production. The New Forest Primary, Junior High and Infant School in Manchester officially opened its greenhouse last week, which boasts a computerized system to fertilize the crops.
This greenhouse has been constructed with the intention of expanding the knowledge base of the students as well as community members in the use of advanced technology in agriculture. The project will also foster the inculcation of an entrepreneurial spirit and culture.
A 6,000 square foot greenhouse was built with the help of the Digicel Foundation. The school will use the produce reaped to help with its school feeding program, while the surplus will be sold to community members and the money used to offset operational expenses. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stacey Ann Smith. Thank you for watching.
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. I'm Erica Lumsden, multiple JCDC music winner, and you're watching Jamaica Magazine.
Play is very important to the development of children. It allows them to use their creativity and develop their imagination. Through play, children interact with the world around them. They learn how to work in groups, share and resolve conflicts.
They learn rules and they learn about respecting others and waiting turns and setting their own rules and guidelines for their games.
Set limits, but allow your children to play. It will help them develop the confidence and resilience needed to conquer future challenges.
Renewing telecom licenses, pushing for investments in the bauxite sector, and initiatives to cut energy costs. These are just a few of the assignments that fully occupy the Ministry of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining this fiscal year. They're also part of a broader platform that will help Jamaica achieve sustainable growth. Portfolio Minister Philip Paulwell recently outlined his ministry's mission in the sectoral debate in Parliament, and we have a recap.
The Ministry of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining is building the platform for sustainable growth. Portfolio Minister Philip Paulwell outlined the 2014-2015 plans in his contribution to the sectoral debate. As the world gets ever more technological and science-driven, government is taking action to develop a culture of science and technology. A National Director General of Science and Technology is being appointed to lead that effort. The Science and Technology Ministry is also partnering with its education counterpart to have more students pursuing science, technology, engineering, and mathematics STEM subjects.
STEM has to be our imperative if our upcoming projects are to impact our people by way of jobs and careers. It is STEM, Mr. Speaker, that is proven to be the anchor for all developed countries, bar none.
The infrastructure also needs to be in place to ensure this knowledge and training translates into development. So,
the ministry renewed, Mr. Speaker, existing telecom licenses and granted new ones which earned for the country $12.6 billion Jamaican dollars.
And with about $12 billion in levy fees, the Universal Access Fund continues to support the build-out of the national broadband network. While up to March 2014, nearly 180 community access points had been established, bringing internet access to thousands of Jamaicans.
To date, I have signed 166 licenses of a total of 193 applications with a combined capacity of over 2.6 megawatt for net billing. This will avoid the importation of 35,000 barrels of oil annually, a saving of $3.5 million.
Government's Energy Efficiency and Conservation Program has also allowed 4 public sector entities to save more than $9 million in electricity consumption costs. This year, $337.8 million will be spent to replace more inefficient lighting and air conditioning systems and install solar control film and cool roof solutions in more public sector entities. Training and public education will also continue.
Our growth and future development as a nation are directly dependent on affordable energy.
And so, 2016 remains the deadline for the implementation of the 381 megawatt energy project. Having decided to look at revoking Energy World International's license, Cabinet has appointed Dr. Vincent Lawrence to head an enterprise team charged with overseeing the full implementation of the project.
The enterprise team will report to the Prime Minister, the Cabinet. The enterprise team will be mandated to have the project implemented by 2016.
The anticipated result is a 30% reduction in energy usage, or less than 20 US cents per kilowatt hour.
I have every confidence now that we will be able to achieve that initial 30% reduction because a benchmark has been set thanks to EWI.
In the meantime, government is seriously looking at coal as an energy alternative for Jamaica, particularly as a source of low-cost steam to power the bauxite and alumina sector. The Energy Minister has assured that any move towards coal will include measures to protect the natural environment. Mining remains a key plank of the local economy, and a new bauxite policy has been introduced to ensure Jamaicans reap the greatest returns. There's to be no new agreements to export raw bauxite without some specific conditions.
Unless an investor commits and does invest in value-added production. And what do we mean by that? We're not going to allow you to take out our raw bauxite alone. You have to have associated with that a refinery to process alumina. This
guided the signing of a memorandum of understanding between government and the China-based firm Xingfa Group in February.
This foreign direct investment amounts to approximately $3 billion United States dollars. It will involve some export of bauxite, 4.5 million tons annually for 25 years in the first instance.
A negotiation team, to include a technical specialist in environmental management, is tasked with settling the terms of definitive agreements within 6 months. Exciting developments are also taking place in rare earth processing. The $600 million pilot project has already revealed that it's feasible to refine elements used in electric motor cars, medical equipment, and other fields.
I have instructed the team to go back because I am not satisfied with just producing this. I want Jamaica to produce this right here too. And I want to go further because with cheap energy, you can manufacture the engine in Jamaica.
The pilot project team was also able to successfully neutralize the alkalinity in the bauxite residue.
This means, Mr. Speaker, that on successful completion of the negotiations, we will not only be mining bauxite in that area of St. Ann, as was the case with the Reynolds mine, we will be producing alumina from St. Ann for the first time at last. And this will be the first greenfield alumina facility to be constructed in Jamaica in 42 years.
Going forward, the team will continue analyzing the commercial viability of the production process of rare earth elements in Jamaica. Meanwhile, the Clarendon alumina production has been transformed into a self-financing entity.
This is largely due to new financing arrangements secured with the Noble Group. The Noble Group will provide $120 million US dollars worth of financing between 2013 and 2016 and buy alumina at improved prices.
Then there's the investment venture by Noranda to expand its port road facilities in Discovery Bay to accommodate larger ships and enable quicker turnaround of vessels. Noranda will also be investing in the rail infrastructure between the mine and its port. And government is poised to conclude discussions with UC Rusal on the future of the operations at the Alport and Kirkvine bauxite plants, which have been closed for 5 years. Cabinet has meanwhile approved an additional 2-year bauxite levy concession for UC Rusal's Ewerton plant operations, on the condition that it constructs a coal-fired energy solution at the plant.
These are the types of investment that can build a platform for sustainable growth and development.
The fact is, and it bears repeating, that we need to attract more young people into the sector if we are going to increase Jamaica's agricultural production and productivity, recognizing their enormous potential for risk-taking and innovation. We at the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries have been encouraging more young people to become involved in agriculture-based activities, as well as to seek to influence them to pursue careers in agriculture and agriculture-based industries.
And I believe young people have got the message, with a few of them already making positive steps in the business. Take Mahalia Gordon, for example. She's a 17-year-old whose love for cooking led her to create a natural blended sauce using Jamaican seasoning straight from the farm.
Seeking a career in agriculture? Well, there are several options. Truth is, there are so many areas that one can be involved in than just farming the soil and rearing animals. And as the government continues to establish and maintain initiatives to ensure a steady inflow of young talent in the sector, we highlight Mahalia Gordon, whose passion is linked to the soil.
This is my product. This is a natural seasoning, and it is called Everybody's Natural Blend. It has a blend of ingredients such as escallion, garlic, thyme, ginger, pimento, pepper, garlic, and it is preserved with natural ingredients such as vinegar and salt, and it has a shelf life of a year.
In supporting our farmers, Mahalia uses locally grown produce to make this authentic Jamaican product.
I will show you how I prepare Everybody's Natural Blend. First, I would get the produce. Secondly, I would prepare them by washing, cleaning them up, and then chopping them up. So now we're adding the onions to everything, but this is not everything in the bowl, but because of time today, I won't do all of that. So I would show you now the pureed form, which is this, after which I would butter. Then we seal the bottle and then add our label, and then the product, Everybody's Natural Blend, is ready for the market.
Mahalia chose to tap into the agro-processing market because of her love for food preparation. Already, her condiments and sauces have been tested and approved by the Scientific Research Council, SRC.
I found myself loving to cook and basically trying out new stuff, experimenting on foods and different things. So the conceptions all started when I was home and I had meat to prepare. So I wasn't really in the mood to cut up and dice the scallion, the garlic and all of those. So I just decided to do a blend, just blend everything together and just do one blend. And this is a very convenient way for householders, housewives and others to, you know, get one blend in a bottle and just use it to season your meat, your fish or your poultry, just like that.
Although she's very business-minded and eager to put Everybody's Natural Blend on the local and international markets, Mahalia finds time to be a normal teenager.
Throw the forward now. And stop going like you're cute.
Don't sit down right there, so I'm going to give some joy. Mahalia, she's a crazy person. When I say crazy, I mean like, she always giving me jokes.
Really and truly, I tend to be in my book at times, but then again, I have to enjoy myself. Well, I'm a fun-loving person, down to earth, like to listen to music, reading, like to socialize with my peers.
Also a foodie, Mahalia is thinking of furthering her education at the University of Technology Jamaica UTech or at the College of Agriculture, Science and Education CASE. Her interest is to explore her creativity in the food industry by creating new products and services. Either of the two institutions will certainly provide the guidance necessary for her to exploit her budding business.
A few years from now, I see myself as a big entrepreneur. I'm planning to branch off into hot and spicy. Some persons don't like pepper, so I am thinking of doing non-peppery, peppery, and also trying to include other ingredients that are unique. For example, basil and those kind of herbs.
Big dreams being facilitated through agriculture. This expansion means Jamaican farmers will have to grow more so that more local produce will be used in authentic sauces like Mahalia's and others, and in doing so, we buy Jamaican and build Jamaica. Young people continuing the growth of the agriculture sector into the future.
Earlier in our program, Minister Paul Wells shared several platforms which are set to facilitate new and existing businesses. And while business opportunities increase, we must also pay attention to the protection of these investments from security threats, seen and unseen.
Protecting your business goes far beyond securing the physical structure. It involves more than just securing goods and other assets inside the building. In this day and information age, locking your doors and hiring security personnel alone won't cut it. If you're like most businesses today, using electronic databases, doing e-commerce, an invasion by unauthorized persons could put a temporary or permanent halt to your business.
We all know what happens if when a breach happens, and sometimes you can never recover. It destroys life, information is compromised, or information is destroyed.
Today, we're talking about software protection and providing you with the information you need to better protect sensitive data. Your website has been hacked, your information stolen. You immediately think it's a weakness in your network. But according to research from the U.S. National Institute of Standards, 92% of all security breaches occur because of application or software vulnerabilities and not network vulnerability. In simple terms, here's what that means. This is your data. This is the application or software used to protect it. This is your network that is used to coordinate and carry out activities. And this is your business. Now, experts say your data becomes exposed when unauthorized persons or hackers get past your network and reach your software system.
Take, for example, a bank. And if this bank, who we entrust with our confidential information, coming through the front door of the bank, certainly need to protect that. Getting past the teller, certainly need to protect that. But imagine now you get the information about you and I. This is the area we are concentrating on.
And rightly so, because this level of breach and exposure of not only customers' private information, but information on the operation of your business can potentially cost you revenue, lead to a bad reputation, and loss of confidence. Having a well-secured software system then is a must. The best way to get the process started and achieve tangible results is to construct a security gate. This is an added reinforcement around your software, making it harder for intruders to get in.
There are some key building blocks that you need to have in your program suite to ensure that person does not get access to your programs and be able to easily manipulate them. And those are really stringent programming steps.
This gate will give you a true test of the strength of your security measures. It will also highlight security threats before they happen. Program developers play a critical role in the setup of software systems, and experts tell us that their job is not to focus solely on the usability, so proper training is important.
A big part of our educational process here is to kind of shatter those assumptions and get an orientation towards thinking about how an attacker thinks. They have a completely different view of these applications. Their view is completely different. They're looking not for functionality, but for vulnerabilities.
At a recent government-endorsed secure software development lifecycle training seminar, young professionals were brought up to speed with global and national threats and how to incorporate advanced technology in their applications.
It's important at all times as ICT professionals that you always upgrade the skills that you have and you ensure that you are at the cutting edge in terms of not just local developments but global developments. And certainly in an industry which changes as rapidly as this one does, it is even more important to be at the forefront of the industry.
Seminar participants were also given a refresher on the dangers of complacency, the risks for businesses and individuals who relax and think their network is safe.
Let me give you a really good example. The most common password used today is password. The second most common password is 123456. And so as a developer, if you assume that somebody's password is secure and yet you've got a significant portion of your users using the same password, i.e. password, then that provides an open door for an attacker to use those accounts to attack your system.
The internet has revolutionized how we operate in the world, right? And what it has done is that bad and good. It has created all this window of opportunities and a window to your business. But what it allows easily now is someone to come to your website and to gain access from that website to your core business software that run in the business.
And so, organizations, especially state entities, are encouraged to build an awareness among staff and their key stakeholders to build and coordinate security measures with their ICT partners.
We need for persons, I said it before, that at the CEO level to understand that there are real dangers in how persons can get access to data, especially in the public sector. I mean, if you think of it, the Registrar General Department, the Passport Office, all of these agents are critical. If persons breach them, the ports, then we can have serious problems nationally. And we need to have a heightened awareness of all the possibilities of danger that is out there.
With this in mind, government has taken steps to amend the Cybercrimes Act to include harsher punishment and make provisions for offenses that are similar to cybercrimes.
In addition to that, we have established a cybercrimes task force, which is comprised of both government and private sector players. We are working with the International Telecoms Union to establish a cyber emergency response team.
With government playing its part, it's now up to you to ensure that you constantly evaluate your software security and create a plan for long-term protection. Don't be caught napping. Get software security conscious. Protect your business.
The show has come to an end, but I leave you with this thought. In your quest to start your own business, remember this advice from American author Napoleon Hill. The majority of men meet with failure because of their lack of persistence in creating new plans to take the place of those which fail. I hope you found the show very informative, and so you know, you can stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm. You may also convey your ideas and comments via Twitter at JIS News or email Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm. Remember to tune in tomorrow, same time, same station for more Jamaica Magazine. On behalf of the production crew, I'm Kerry-Ann Smith. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.